What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So Democrats are extremely worried right now that President Biden's economic agenda is not going to pass, and not just pass in the next couple weeks or the next couple months. They're saying this may not pass this year in 2022. That's extremely discouraging because Democrats are also demanding additional stimulus and more relief to the American people. Now, we're going to address both those things in today's video. We're also going to address how housing is very similar to what we are seeing from 2006. So just understand, this is potentially a good thing right now, but if it goes out of control, it could lead to what somewhat happened in 2008, where there were too many houses. So I will address that in just a minute. Now, I do just want to address one thing really quick before I get into the daily updates, but what is happening across multiple financial channels, this one as well, there's a lot of others out there, is people are trying to, there's scammers out there in the comments that either take the picture of the channel creator, like myself, they take my YouTube picture, they take that, they put it on their own channel, and they try to get you to send them a message on WhatsApp or get you to send them some type of cryptocurrency. All right, I will never ask you to do that. I do not have a WhatsApp account, okay? So just understand those are scammers. Do not fall for their tricks, and never send money to people you do not absolutely know, all right? Let's get into the update for today. Because what we heard yesterday was Senator Dick Durbin, who's actually the second ranking senator behind Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. He said that he doesn't believe President Biden's economic agenda will even pass this year. Now, that's a huge problem. And the reason I say that's a huge problem is because Democrats have to get something done if they want to remain in control of the House and the Senate. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, who cares? I'm done with Democrats. Who cares if they remain in control? Let's get them out. Let's get new people in, new blood, right? Let's change things up. Now, what we are hearing from Senator Dick Durbin is this is all due to the fact that Senator Joe Manchin has been the one person not wanting to strike a deal. And according to Senator Joe Manchin, he says it's because of inflation is still too high, our national deficit is still rising. Those two things have to be fixed before he's willing to accept any additional funding for the economic agenda. However, this issue with Senator Joe Manchin, it's not sitting well with Democrats, because one thing we know is Senator Joe Manchin, he's not up for re-election this year. He's not part of that group. So does he want to see Democrats remain in control? Probably. If Democrats don't pass a bill, will Republicans gain control? Most likely. But he's not one to jump the gun and go too quickly to pass something when he says we still have high inflation and our national deficit is still rising. One thing I can tell you based off of the statements from the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell just yesterday is that if we don't see inflation come down towards around June, July of this year of 2022, so we're in March, so we got April, May, June, 3 to 4 months. If we don't see inflation start to come down, that is when the Federal Reserve could possibly pretty much do a rug pull and really raise rates past that quarter point, okay? So we will see what happens there. But if this happens, then Senator Joe Manchin would be very less likely to pass anything until possibly 2023, or until we see inflation get back down probably under 4%. So we'll see what happens there. Now, here's one of the problems. When Senator Dick Durbin stated that he doesn't believe that we are going to see this bill pass now or this year, the reason why this is a problem is because Senate Democrats are trying to get behind this economic agenda. They're urging others to get behind it as well. House Democrats have been doing this for a while. They got some senators on board, but they're trying to get more. But here's what Senator Dick Durbin had to say, and I want to read you this entire thing because his statement is extremely important moving forward. But he says, I am planning to finish this year and hope to guide the Democratic caucus to success, but not assuming that reconciliation be part of it. pretty much talking about the budget reconciliation bill, or President Biden's Build Back Better Act. He also goes on to state, if it turns out to be great, maybe it'll surprise me, but I've been burned by this stove enough times, I'm not going to grab it another time. Pretty much saying that, yes, he's done this before, we've negotiated, and then it's gone. It's like, nope, it's not going to work. But he also went on to say, we've had the football pulled so many times, I'm not going to run up to it anymore. Again, talking about the bill is there, like, okay, here's the bill. There you go. Like, let's vote on it. And then all of a sudden, nope, the bill gets yanked and, wow, we don't have the support. So he's not going to do this. And the reason why this statement is so important is because this is a similar feeling that many lawmakers have and have had this feeling for some time. Others have said something very similar, where they want to pass the Biden economic agenda, but they don't want to get their hopes up and start talking to the American people and bringing the American people into it and say, hey, this is what we got. We got this bill. It's going to be good. Well, they don't want to do this because it just takes one man to send it all crashing back down. So, what we see moving forward will be different. According to the House Democrats, they're currently working on the Building a Better America plan, and they say that they are putting together a plan in place that will not impact inflation, which is good because Senator Joe Manchin doesn't want that, and it will not add to the national deficit, which is good because Senator Joe Manchin doesn't want that either. And again, you're probably thinking, well, why does he matter? He matters because he's the one Senate Democrat that's opposing this entire thing. If there were 5 or 10 others, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Democrats would know we don't have the support, not even close. But right now, it's pretty much one person that's holding it up. And if that one person's holding it up, what they're going to try to do and what the Biden administration's plan is to send Kamala Harris out to go rile up the American people, rile up the voters, and get them to almost turn against Senator Joe Manchin. But like I said, he's not up for re-election, so why would he care this year? He doesn't. Now, what we have heard is House Democrats say they want to pass provisions like the child tax credit payments. They want to pass climate and universal pre-K. We also heard discussions of potentially having the paid family medical leave in there, but that's something that could most likely be thrown out. Okay, not saying it should be, but it will most likely be thrown out in order to get universal pre-K. So here's something else I just want to keep you in the loop on. Child tax credit payments will be payments to parents for their children. Universal pre-K will be pretty much like a relief bill where children who are 3 and 4 years old, their parents, as long as they qualify, would not have to pay for for daycare, and so because their child would be going to a preschool, right, pre-kindergarten, and so these two bills are helping out children, helping out the parents. Again, remember this bill used to be called the American Families Plan, but then Democrats changed it because that the Families Plan wasn't very popular amongst people that didn't have a family. Yeah, we're coming back around. It's coming back around. So just understand, that's where we're at. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be very interesting to see what lawmakers come up with, try to put together to get Senator Joe Manchin on board, because as of right now, he's not looking to budge really with anything. And he said this a couple weeks ago that this isn't high on his priorities list. He has other things that he's more worried about right now than passing the Build Back Better Act or the Building a Better America plan or the American Families Plan or whatever you want to call it, right? So we'll see what happens there. And right now, when Democrats are trying to do all they can to get more relief to the American people, what we do know is that President Biden is calling on oil companies to lower gas prices as oil prices dipped earlier on this week. Now, currently oil prices are up about, a little over 7% as of making this video. So just understand, oil prices are going back up. Does that mean gas prices should be going up as well? No. So the talks of lower gas prices due to the price of oil at this time isn't going to do much right now. But we did see gas prices drop earlier today, though. We now know the national average for a gallon of gas is $4.28 per gallon for regular gas. This is down about 3 cents from just a week ago. because we were sitting at $4.31. Now, just to give you an idea, President Biden stated yesterday that when oil previously was about $96 a barrel, the gas price at that time was about $3.62 a gallon. Yesterday, when oil was about $96, gas prices was at $4.30. So obviously, oil companies are not passing these lower prices onto the end consumer just yet. It's lagging, it's taking some time. Now, this is where Senate Democrats want to bring in big oil CEOs and have them testify on price gouging. And even Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he had this to say, I quote, "This bewildering incongruity between falling oil prices and rising gas prices smacks of price gouging. The Senate is going to get answers, and that's why we will be calling on the CEOs of major oil companies to come testify before the Congress." So we will see what happens, because I think that would be very interesting to see what is really going on there. But odds are the CEOs will say what Congress wants to hear, and things will just go right back to the way they were. That's usually the way things work. Now, let's talk about housing, because according to new reports that came out today, the U.S. Home construction right now is rebounding at its fastest pace since 2006. And we obviously know what followed in 2006, because here's what happened. Just to give you a little bit of a backstory, you probably know this, but what happened in 2004, 5, and 6 is we were seeing record levels of new homes being built. Record levels. Now, the homes that were being built, these were going to be quality homes, right? But the issue here was that homes were being built too quickly. And on the back end of these quick builds was this financial collapse, this housing market issue, where we were seeing lending was people that, some people call them ninja loans, whatever, no income, no job, you just get a loan, right? People were getting 110% of their mortgage. They were getting additional money back, right? People with very low credit scores, very little history of repaying anything, they were getting loans for homes. Well, what happened was we saw too many homes come on the market. There was just a huge surge of additional supply. The demand wasn't actually that high either. Rates were higher than what they are today, but they were fairly low, I guess, for that time. But that's what we saw in 2006. Now, the best part about what we're seeing now is that residential starts increased by 6.8% since last month, okay? And so that's put us about 1.77 million homes in an annualized rate for 2022. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, because we still have a huge housing shortage here in the United States. But housing starts are good, but that is not the ultimate answer, okay? Because here's the problem, and I want to address some of these things. What we have seen recently in all areas of employment is that there's still about 7 job openings for every 1 unemployed person. Okay, so 1 unemployed person has their pick of 7 different jobs here in the United States. That's huge. Now, there's still a lot of contractors at this time that can't find responsible workers, and that's a major issue. Now, obviously, this is a problem, but there's other problems that pile up on top of this as well. One of the main issues that we're seeing right now with building a new home is that it takes a lot of time to get certain materials. The prices of building materials have gone up exponentially. Delivery times for doors, garage doors, flooring, light fixtures, plumbing fixtures, and almost everything that goes into these homes is extremely long, right? And let me just give you an idea, okay? Let me use my personal story. Okay, I had to buy a new custom door for one of my houses this past summer, and when we placed the order, which I probably placed about a month or 2 late anyway, but I placed the order and it took the fabricator about 15 weeks to get the door out to me. Okay? I even had to go pick it up from the fabricator. It wasn't even delivered. I had to go pick it up myself because it was going to take that long. Okay? Now, and just to give you an idea, right now, that same fabricator, when I called last week, it's not 15 weeks. It's now between 22 and 25 weeks. Okay? This is what it takes to fabricate the door, minus delivery. It still has to be delivered. because most people aren't going to go pick up, a huge door. I did. Now, if you let's just look into a garage door for a second, okay? Because I wanted to see about getting a garage door, and the garage door company that I called said they could come out in a couple days. Perfect. All right, let's get a garage door. But when it came to installing the garage doors, the company said, well, they'll put me on the schedule for sometime this summer, because that's currently when they would be expecting the door. It wouldn't be coming in, and again, a lot of these doors are pre-made, but it wouldn't be coming in the next week. It wouldn't be coming in the next month. It would be coming in potentially 3 to 6 months. Okay, well, that really adds a little bit of time onto that. Well, that's what some of these houses are seeing. You look at some pictures, or go around to new developments, and you'll see the house is perfect, right? Oh, it's everything's painted, roof's on, landscaping's done, but it's missing light fixtures on the front of the house. It's missing a garage door that's just leaving open, bay, right? It's just a carport. That's what we're seeing, and that's one of the issues. So if you think right now that we are going to see housing prices just start to fall because there's more and more houses coming on the market, well, we could see delays on that because of the supply chain issues. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But that's what I wanted to really talk about today, is because what we are seeing is that things are looking better. Things are looking better, and I'm very optimistic we're going to see this supply chain issue get resolved at some point, but it might not be until 2023 or 2024. That's how much of a delay we are seeing right now. And then especially with this war between Russia and Ukraine, it's causing additional delays. It's causing additional price increases on certain materials. And obviously those things aren't good either when it comes to housing. Now, one thing I can tell you is that we are expecting that over the next month or two, we are going to see more reports of Democrats trying to get additional relief to the American people. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully we see whether they go after these large oil companies and pull some of their profits, that would be great, but I don't see that happening either. So as we get more information as to what Democrats are actually planning on doing to provide relief to the American people, I promise I will bring you those updates and reports as soon as we get them. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.